Hello everybody, and welcome.
Who's coming? Huh?
If you're coming right now, let me see it.
Remember that P. Diddy video that I made that got taken down because I was too close? I was too close on the trail of P. Diddler and all that. You know what I'm an expert on? Beef.
Where is the beef?
Not the ruminants with 5 stomachs, but people hating each other on the internet and making that very public. And then I can take that information and try to understand it and turn it into a funny video, because this shit is getting crazy. Do you know what has more beef in it than Taco Bell's Pick 2 for $3.99 prize party pack with a Baja Blast on the side? The rap game. I know all about the rap game, guys. I'm gonna tell you what, I am huge into beef right now, okay? I love beef. And the reason I love the world of rap is because of how much beef there is. The world of rap, seriously, full of haters. They all these dudes hate each other, and they have since the very beginning. You got the North, the South, the East, the West. There is hatred brewed within this community for generations. Nothing at all has changed, and now Certified Boy Lover is on the receiving end of it. Certified Lover Boy, Drake. You know, the guy in the wheelchair from Degrassi. You know, this zesty MF. You know, that guy with the really long, thin, floppy, I don't know. It's the thing, Twizzler, I guess. In the rap game, there's one guy who cannot stop making enemies with the people, and that is a zesty little fella who goes by the name of Drakenheimer, Canadian Drake.
Why do you think people like you?
I don't know.
We're gonna get deep into this, and this is gonna be some insane shit, and I implore you to stick around until the end to find out exactly what happens on this episode of Uphavel. Today, we're looking at allegations, rumors, half-truths, epic hot bars. Today's episode is full of information based on the rap game. Do like a FMV style edit for that, like really cool text and music and shit like that. We'll start with early beef involving Drake, not Drake's life story, because that shit boring as. I'd say he's just cosplaying is what he is, to be honest. He's not real with it. He's cosplaying. Drake had his humble beginnings, his humble rise up, and realized that there were other people in the rap game that had a lot of potential, as much potential as him. One of those people, The Weeknd. Ever heard of that guy? I'm blinded by the lights. Beautiful singing voice. First music song I ever heard from him, a song called Dirty Diana, originally by Michael Jackson. He sings it, he performs it very well. Beautiful. She's saying that's okay. Hey baby, do what you please. And now he's got Ozempic face, and he looks max too hard, and he looks really funny and ugly. Or maybe that's a bit. I'm not sure. I don't know. Drake seems to claim that he made The Weeknd famous and claim that he owns him. The only truth to this seems to be that The Weeknd is super grateful for Drake giving him a platform back in 2011. He's just grateful, and he has a lot of gratitude within him, and he's really happy. He does own half the albums, though. Drake does own half of his albums. So the only truth to this seems to be that The Weeknd was very grateful for Drake giving him a spotlight back in 2011, and he gave up half his album. Okay, so like half of the percentage of an album, I assume, from this little clip here, but he's still grateful, and he's like, yeah, man, I don't know where I'd be if Drake wouldn't have shined his light on me. Certified Lover Boy. So the fact that Drake stated that he owned The Weeknd is insane. He never signed with Drake and only helped him on music, and I don't know, he was a small artist at the time. It's kind of bizarre. On the song Champagne Poetry by Drakenheimer, we get a little excerpt, I would say. I'll read it for you now, that kind of keys us in as to what's going on between him and Tesfaye. The 20% of you that we own is my Tootsie's money. I'm wilding with your bread. You owe it to me. This apparently has to do with The Weeknd. This is according to KTT2, who's an insider for OVO, which is Drake's network. So yeah. So there's no way to prove it, but Drake says that he owns 20% of The Weeknd's music from a supposed finder's fee, but once again, can't really prove it. That was like an early beef, okay? Just to like set the stage a little bit. So pretty lame for beef, pretty kind of normal shit. Seemed like Drake discovered The Weeknd, wanted him to sign with his record label, and then they just wouldn't, so they kind of cut ties, and they've addressed it since then. Just really early on shit. But the inclusion of it, allegedly, in lyrics and stuff, that's where it kind of gets weird, and that's what people keep talking about on Leinenheimers. Another fine fellow that Drake has beef with is this fella named ASAP Rocky.
I'm just a ghetto from the ghetto with no pot to piss in.
He was pardoned by Trump. He's that guy. He's that guy. ASAP Rocky was pardoned by Trump. I think he got arrested in Capistania or something like that. Yeah, when he pardoned him from what happened in Sweden. Yeah, big ups, Donald Trump. Thank you for helping our friend A$AP Rocky here. A$AP Rocky and Drake, they had some beef. It seems like Mr. Rocky is pretty grateful for Drake putting him on and shining the light on him the same way he did with Abel and The Weeknd, all that shit.
The only person that put on for me when I ain't have nobody was Drake. I'm talking about Drake was the first person to put on, like, before anybody. He didn't want to sign me.
Yeah.
He didn't want to. It was like, yo, that's raw talent, yo. Like, you got to shine, yo. I'm going to see to it.
From Mr. Rocky's perspective, it was like he wanted him to just shine. He didn't want to necessarily sign him to the label or anything, and he says that he'll owe him forever. Not own him forever. Owe him forever.
I forever owe Drake.
What was the like the first conversation? Like, you knew that he was trying to get that shit?
I swear to God, man, the first conversation, he was himself. He said, yo, first off, I'm going to let you know I'm a real, but I'm a man of my word. Basically, he was saying he's a stand-up guy.
Hey, man, certified lover boy, put me on. I've been cooking up some stuff in my DAW. I've been cooking up some music. Just kidding. And he probably won't put me on after this video, to be honest. So yeah, you've got that. And then confusingly enough, it seems like Drake went after Rihanna and Mr. Rocky on a song called Fear of Heights.
Why they make it sound like I'm still hung up on you?
He referenced Rihanna's album Anti. Drake say, the sex was average with you. Yeah, I'm anti because I had it with you. That's not very nice. They had a bit of a fling back in 2016 and he fucking absolutely disrespected her. All right, and Rihanna is a queen. I like Rihanna. She's pretty cool. A$AP Rocky nailed her down himself, and that's where the beef stems from, because A$AP Rocky is with Rihanna. And I think they have a child together. A$AP Rocky, child, Rihanna. Rizah is the baby's name. What a terrible name for a child. Anyways, so people think that Drake's kind of a hater because he's dissing her in this song. He still hasn't gotten over her. Kind of weird, man. This song came out back in 2023, and this is well after A$AP and Rihanna have had their connections and child, Rizah, and all that stuff. They seem happy. He's a very handsome guy, I've got to say. He's a very handsome guy, Mr. Rocky is. So yeah, man, that's gonna cause some beef. It's kind of an enemy type shit. And now we get to Kendrick Lamar.
Goddamn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix.
Another guy that Drake claims to have created. He cannot keep his words to himself, and you know, there's obviously a lot more shit out there, but it's less pertinent to this exact situation. And this is where stuff gets really, really, really hot. The beef between Drake and Heimer and Kendrick Lamar. All right, not Lamar like the Billboard's Lamar, but like, or Lamar Odom, but like Kendrick Lamar. Peanut butter, and what is it? Peanut butter and banana. What does he say? Oh, syrup sand. That's what I'm thinking of. Syrup sandwiches.
I remember syrup sandwiches and crumb allowances.
A lot of syrup sandwich. That's a meme. Peanut butter. I was thinking of peanut butter and banana. Elvis. Kind of mixed up Elvis and Kendrick Lamar there for a second. It seems like Drake likes accidentally just causing beef with people, accidentally just putting hits on people in his words and his fucking song and shit. And this whole Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef opens up the door to a lot more really, really, really fucked up, crazy stuff, man. And this all stems from Drake inviting Kendrick to be his opening act a long time ago on the Club Paradise tour alongside Mr. Rocky. Remember him?
Yo, me and Rocky cuddle and watch Smack DVD.
I don't cuddle.
I be licking this nigga braids like.
I don't do that. That's not true.
I know you don't do that. I do that.
Seemed like we started off pretty chill. Kendrick even had Drake feat on a song called Poetic Justice, and it's awesome.
I really hope you play this, cause oh girl, you test my patience.
However, Kendrick took a shot at Drake and some other rappers in the industry, not in his own song, but in another rapper's song, Big Sean. His song called Control. He said, I'm usually homeboys with the same I'm rhyming with, but this is hip hop, and them should know what time it is. And that goes for J. Cole, Big Crit, Whale, Pusha T, Meek Mills, A$AP Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, Jay Electron, Tyler, and Mac Miller. I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you. Trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you. They don't want to hear not one more noun or verb from you. That is so awesome. I love this so much. I mean, it's his song. It's Big Sean's song. That's crazy, dude. Basically, it's him going after everybody and saying he's gonna raise the bar higher and actually put in a lot of effort. And as far as I'm aware, that's kind of what the man is known for, is like really being creative and really kind of stepping out of the comfort zone that all these other fakes and frauds are comfortably in, and it seems kind of lighthearted. It's like obviously part of the bit, whatever. He's got his own persona for the rap career, and most people took it as lighthearted, which I believe it absolutely is, and maybe they tried to realize that they should elevate their music, but Drake took it extremely personally. Apparently, on a deleted interview with ESPN, it was so serious that the higher ups wanted it gone, dude. All I know is there was a beef, and all I know is I was witness to when the beef would have ignited to proportions we have not seen since Ja Rule 50. Do you remember that? We gonna clap back? Maybe even Ice Cube NWA, he said. Like it went there, but that was destroyed from everyone's property. That was destroyed. That interview, that moment was destroyed. That's all I'm gonna say. But I was there, and I heard the shots fired. This is this guy Marcellus Wiley. So he's like a side character. I'm not sure how he's exactly involved in this, but this is a flashback to him claiming that shit. So seemed like it was a pretty big deal.
And then all of a sudden, we're walking off set, waiting our time just for the show there or whatever. Ring, ring. And then our bosses come up to us, and they're like, we have to extinguish that interview. We have to discard it. I was like, what? Why? They were like, well, their camp called, and their camp said that shouldn't be aired. And I was like, well, shouldn't have said it too. And I'm thinking in the mindset of, if this was live, would he have said it? And if he did, he couldn't take it back. But it wasn't. So then they were like, it has to go that way.
And they were worried that it'd be like a Tupac Biggie situation in which someone's going to end up dead and someone's going to end up in jail. So the higher ups, whoever that is, God, I assume, I'm not really sure, they slashed it fast. No more drama.
In their minds, in the corporate mind, they thinking of Tupac and Biggie. So they're like, if anything, this might save us and save some lives.
By God, I've got to say that it's a lot worse now, though, to be honest. Hopefully it doesn't get a lot worse. You know? So anyways, this stopped it for a little while. The higher ups doing whatever they did, it pushed back the catastrophe into a reasonable playing field. But Drake, in the meantime, was fighting another fight with a man named Metro Boomin. Do you know who that is?
Metro Boomin wants some more.
Metro and Drake are very petty people, and I love learning about all this stuff. They like tweets from people calling each other out. It's just so cringe and stuff. And it's if you just look here, Metro Boomin, Party Next Door, they signed with OVO and Drake's certified boy lover network or whatever. So like, it's kind of, there's a bit of a game, bit of a mental warfare going on behind the scenes. This is kind of like 1772, and we're the British looking at the newly formed American Twitter, and then they're followed by the French. Interesting. This could be bad. This could be good. Who knows? However, the inflection point for all this beef really coming to a head was in 2023. Metro and Drake were at an award ceremony, and they were both of them had albums up for awards that were nominated, and Drake's album won and Metro's album did not, in spite of Metro's having a bunch of cool feats like 21 Savage, Future, The Weeknd, Travis Scott, the guy where people died at his concert from trampling, Young Thug. The list goes on. Somehow her loss with this album art won awards, and Heroes and Villains, Metro's did not. Very sad. And then from that, the beef began to grow massively, and the pettiness began to grow alongside it, malignant, like a form of cancer. This beef kept on going, so much so that once again in 2023, Metro released Knife Talk, a song that had Drake on it, as well as 21 Savage, and he released the version without Drake on it.
I'm Mr. Body Catcher, Slaughter Gang Soul Snatcher.
And that's a big middle finger, I've got to say. Metro Boomin drops the original cut of Jake and 21 Savage Knife Talk. No! Metro Boomin's a producer, by the way, like P. Diddy, but not like P. Diddy at all. Okay. It was at this point people began to realize clearly that Metro didn't want anything at all to do with Drake, and that's when all the fucking tweet liking and shit like that. He was jealous at him, angry at him. I'm not exactly sure. Who cares at the end of the day? But all these developments set the groundwork for what is to come. And recently, the storm that finally, exploded out of nowhere, dude. Now, seriously, if you guys are interested in this kind of stuff and you want to go deep down into the, rap rabbit holes of just like the politics behind it, that kind of shit, there's plenty of videos on YouTube. There's one by this guy Matty Balls. If you want to understand this more so, then go check out channels like his and other channels. There's a lot more concise, succinct information out there than this stupid video that I'm making about this, just because I'm not really in the game. But what I am into is this new anti-Drake sentiment, okay? Because I think Drake is very cringe, and I do not like Drake, and I'm pretty sure I made a video a couple months ago in which I called him certified boy lover, and now that's a thing that's actually catching on, which it's not like it's a, you know, a genius new idea where I'm just rearranging two words in his self-proclaimed name, certified lover boy. But I just wanted to make that clear that I was well ahead of it. I just remember the whole Millie Bobby Brown insanity from a couple years ago. Allegations, I guess. I really don't even know what that would be. Weirdness, creepiness, I'm not sure. So anyways, back to this drama. In March of this year, a fever pitch for the anti-Drake sentiment of the rap industrial complex was reached. Metro Boomin with Future dropped a collaborative album called We Don't Trust You.
We don't trust you. We don't.
I don't trust no body.
And this was the album that kicked off the shot that was heard round the world that led to the rap civil war, guys. All right. Paul Blart riding through the streets. Future is coming. Future is coming. Not Paul Blart. Shit. Here's the guy who read, the British are coming. The British are coming.
The British will be here soon. We shall stand our ground and fight them to the death.
Yes, yes. Although, I mean, one of us should probably warn everyone, you know, that the British are coming. I mean, not me. I mean, I want to fight. I mean, oh, shoot, I've got the horse. I mean, but if anyone else wants to go...
I'll go.
No one? All right. I'll make sure everyone remembers your names.
I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, the rap civil war. Yeah, Paul Revere. That guy. I know. Yeah, it's engagement bait, right? It's one of those things. Comment down below if you fell for it. So quite a few rappers contributed to this album, We Don't Trust You, which was truly a collaboration between Future and Metro Boomin, but we'll talk about them in order of appearance to keep things organized. It's important to know, if you haven't figured out by now, the entire album is essentially a diss track at Drake. Drake is the you that we do not trust. And what's shocking is the appearance of people that Drake would consider to be friends on this album. Incredibly shocking. It's a Caesar moment. It's a Caesar moment. I'm trying to tie this into history here. For example, The Weeknd. Look at this rare video of them at a birthday party. They dissed each other, now they have beef. Oh wow, things were so simple a year ago, back before the rap civil war, back before it all came crashing down. Fire Nation attacked. The Weeknd is on the second track for the diss album in spite of Drake being at The Weeknd's birthday party last year and giving a speech. Sad, man. Money changes people. Money and fame, it really changes people, I guess. Just kidding. Drake. He's cosplaying. This shit ain't even real. None of this is real. This is crazy. They released two albums back to back. We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You? That's not very nice. Why would you guys do that? In spite of The Weeknd appearing multiple times on both of these diss albums, these anti-Drake albums, he didn't say anything negative until the 8th track. And what he said is as follows. Stop licking the air. I thank God that I never signed my life away. I thank God that I never signed my life away. This is probably, as a rap anthropologist, my sort of opinion here, him referring to signing with Republic Records instead of Uvu. With Drake. Uvu sounds like a lube name or some kind of sex toy or something like that. Terrible name. Drake still pretty upset. Should have showed this earlier, but he tweeted at him, I think. He said, "You won't get away with just a thank you. You owe me a favor." George clarified in 2015. This is an at to The Weeknd. You can clearly see that The Weeknd did give him quite a bit of a favor. There's an album called Take Care, and he contributed to 4 or 5 songs on just that single album back in 2011, according to 40, who is 4/5 of 50. I really don't know what's happening here. So yeah, I really don't know. It seems like the beef that The Weeknd's talking about here was squashed a long time ago because it's so old and he was at his birthday party and stuff. But even in the birthday party video, you can see that he's like claiming a bit of responsibility for his rise and he's got a slight superiority complex. I really don't know. He refuses to give him the microphone he reaches for. It's kind of awkward. I don't like certified boy lovers, certified lover boys. People also say in the second verse of another song that it's, yeah, I can't trust you. This is, if I can't trust you anymore, but I did it on my own. That's like a loosely plays in, I don't know. Travis Scott versus Drake, much more interesting. Cause honestly, dude, this guy's got no fucking business dissing anyone, nothing like that. I mean, he Astro World, massive failure in dumbest apology video of all time.
I just want to send out prayers to the
to the ones that was lost last night. We're actually working right now to identify the families.
And his track that he's on, Type Shit, it doesn't have anything to do with Drake at all or dissing Drake. It's about just doing drugs and getting high. I don't really know, man. It just makes sense with the whole Astroworld thing and the apology and all that nonsense. Pretty awesome. Eating all the perkies on some food type shit. Wow. Pop it, right up out the blue type shit. Pop the double O in a mood. Serotonin, that's a cool type mix. Oxycontin, mix it with balloons. All right. East Atlanta, feeling like a zoo type mix. It feels, I'm almost fucking dancing here, dude. Really don't know why the fuck he's on there. It's like a diss album. You're endorsing dissing Drake, but you're not actively dissing Drake. I'm confused. There was this though. Look at this. God, they look so dumb. Fans went wild. Drake, very hard. Drake has a lot of beef with Travis Scott. I couldn't find any lyrics on this album that explicitly indicate that he has beef with Drake. I don't know, dude. He had a shootout with a fake head Drake did. So there is beef. It's like the WWE. This is just some lame shit that I'm very interested in. I've got to be honest. Really though, I'm interested in Kendrick Lamar and Drake because that's actual legitimate insane beef. A little bit back to Travis though. He desperately tried to get Future and Metro to debut their now infamous diss at Rolling Loud with him there.
Hey, before y'all get out of here, bro, just play that. Oh, man. Please, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Metro's trying to get out of here like, all right, then. Nah, Metro, you gotta let that shit go right now, bro. Dope is you like that? Man, I need that. Man, I'm off. I'm trying to. Okay.
Yes, he was trying to bless them, but it didn't. Yeah, anyways.
Like to be able to. Anyway.
We got Kendrick Lamar, okay, syrup sandwiches.
I remember syrup sandwiches and crime allowances, Vanessa with some counterfeits.
The meatiest parts of all the beef that we're talking about, all the allegations, all the insane shit is Kendrick Lamar and Drake. That's what it boils down to. Kendrick Lamar specifically taking some insane fucking shots at Drake. Seriously, wild shit. Defamation, I'd say, if untrue. Defamation. And once again, this stems from the collaboration with Future and Metro. Track number 6, titled Like That.
Okay, let's get it up. It's time for him to prove that he's a problem.
Kendrick not only calls out Drake, but also J. Cole, another guy in the rap world.
Your roommate yelling, why you gotta take so long? What it's like to have a crooked smack.
Specifically, Kendrick name dropped Drake's song First Person Shooter, where J. Cole drops a line calling himself, Kendrick, and Drake the big three who are on top of the rap game. Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K. Dot? Is it Aubrey or me? K. Dot, that's Kendrick Lamar. Aubrey, that's Drake. And then J. Cole is me. We the big three like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali. Nice. You're nothing like Muhammad Ali.
Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K. Dot? Is it Aubrey or me?
Yeah, huh? Yeah, get up with me. Sneak dissin', first person shooter. I hope they came with 3 switches. I crash out like rap, diss Mel if I had to.
Sneak dissin', first person shooter. I hope they came with 3 switches.
Sweet 3 switches. Those are Glock switches. Very illegal. Very, very, very illegal to use. Not illegal to buy, but you will have the ATF knocking down your door and shooting your dog if you do buy one of those. I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest, just for clarity. All right, guys. Would you quit licking your lips? Once again, in the song Like Me from the Metro Future diss album, Kendrick indicates that he takes issue with J. Cole's claim that J. Cole, Aubrey, and K. Dot are on the same level with one another. He says instead on his song that instead of there being a big three, there's a big me. All right. J. Cole responded to this by revealing his basic math skills, releasing a 3-minute and 30-second song called 7-Minute Drill. And it's a diss track at Kendrick Lamar.
Your first shit was classic, your last shit was tragic. Your second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it.
He basically says that he likes him, but he'll humble him if he has to. And this is only a warning shot, and he can drop 2 more immediately if needed. So I really don't know what's going on here.
This is merely a warning shot. The back down, back in the town where they whipping, working, traffic and pounds.
And then out of nowhere, it's very strange, J. Cole apologizes for the 7-Minute Drill song and for his threats to humble Kendrick, and it just is an idiot for comparing himself to Muhammad Ali. Absolutely just pussed out almost immediately, which is very, very, very funny.
It's one part of that shit that make me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my life, right? Y'all heard some shit that happened 3 weeks ago, however long it was. Y'all heard that bazooka that was dropped on the motherfucking game, right? So all of this time of me moving on my own accord, for the first time I was tested. Why am I tested? Because I got the world and I got my like, what you gonna do, Cole?
So yeah, really boring, but at the same time, guy's based in Red Pill. He goes on to say that he's blessed to be able to have rappers like Drake and Kendrick in his world and at the same level, and he has peers, and all these reactions just don't sit right with him. He's a nice guy, it seems like. He's not cut out for this shit.
I know how I feel about my peers, these two that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this game, let alone chase their greatness, right? So I felt conflicted because I'm like, bro, I know I don't really feel no way, but the world want to see blood.
J. Cole is quite literally a silly, goofy little guy. I mean, he even released this 7-minute drill track on an album called Might Delete Later. So funny to me, dude. I think Kendrick maybe could have seen that coming, that he would back down. He's a keyboard warrior, a paper tiger, if you will. Hey, man, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So, Drake responds by releasing Push-Ups.
I could never be nobody #1 fan.
A thing that calls out the dog pile, all right? And calls out a lot of the people who collaborated on We Don't Trust You, who took him down, who tried to take him down. He called out the dog pile in these lyrics. He called out the Weeknd by using his real name, Abel. Cash blowing Abel Brad out here tricking. Shit we do for bitches, he doing for jets, whips, chains, wicked, wicked, wicked. Spin it like you trying to F, boy. You trippin', boy, you trippin'. What? Drake also calls out the shit that went down at Rolling Loud. He then compares their music to Taylor Swift and Maroon 5, I assume insinuating that it is generic and lame, which I would say his music is very generic and lame. A lot of this shit is very generic and lame, though. It keeps going, though. Drake even calls out someone else we haven't even heard about until now. This guy, Rick Ross, who's the last name to appear in the diss album. He calls him old because he's 48. Pretty old. It's pretty old compared to all the other guys. It's pretty old. Drake talks about taking his girl because after they broke up, he sent a bunch of personalized invites, Diddy style, inviting him to her shows, his shows and stuff. I really don't know, dude. This is funny though. The whole like steal your girl. I'm Mr. Steal Your Girl, Drizzy, certified lover boy, Drizzy. Mr. Drizzy. Rick Ross is like the final boss for the whole diss track thing, it seems like. Drake also claims that every single song that Rick has had that's gotten on top has Drizzy on it, which is, I think, pretty true, but I don't really know. I'm not gonna fact check that shit. I don't give a It's so exhausting. Since Drake goes by Champagne Poppy on Instagram, it's kind of like how people know him a little bit. Rick Ross made a song called Champagne Moments, in which it's Drake on the front, but he's photoshopped to look like a white guy, which I really like it. I relate to this dude so fucking hard.
Fish tanks and marble floors, living big and bad. Niggas laugh until they hit with my official jab.
Champagne Moments is the direct response to Drake's high-profile disses on Push-Ups, which fired at Rick Ross and many of his peers after Metro Boomin feature released an album called We Don't Trust You. He alleges that Drake has a bunch of ghostwriters, which I would allege that all these fuckers have ghostwriters, and that the label is taking big L's, fat L's, and he's making all his money from Steak and Kick, and he didn't allege that. That's just what I'm alleging. He then goes on to call him a white boy with unoriginal music, which I don't know how true that is. Let's see. Sorry about that. Is Drake a black person? We need to stop shaming black artists like Drake for being too white. Opinion. Black-ish. Huh. So maybe he is cosplaying. I don't know. I just wanted to say, I just said that because he seemed like he was a fake, like a weird liar guy, certified boy lover. So yeah, it's pretty bad. Rick, you know, he doesn't like Drake very much, it seems like. He also calls out Drake's relationship with the black community as it being purely exploitative, and that he only uses the culture for clout and money, which is fair. I feel like that's kind of a thing that happens in the rap world, to be honest. Drake is quite literally making enemies of everyone right now. And then, guys, Kendrick, over the last couple days, has gone, I don't want to say gone off on him, but that's pretty much what it is. I've said fever pitch multiple times. This is the fucking fever pitch. He didn't leave any room for crumb, all right? He was called out for being a creep and a weirdo.
But I'm a creep.
But for a succinct and clear timeline, we've got April 19th. This is when Drake released Push-Ups and Tailor-Made Freestyle, okay? Here's some lyrics. It's fucking awesome. The shit is badass.
The way you doing splits, bitch, your pants might rip.
Drake mocked Kendrick, called him a fucking pipsqueak, made fun of his shoe size because Drake has an elephant trunk between his legs. That's like sort of the main vibe, right? 11 days later, Kendrick released Euphoria, which is a little poke and prod at Drake because he is an executive producer or something on a show called Euphoria that I've never seen because I'm an adult man, all right? And I reluctantly pay my taxes and shit. Kenny described him as a master manipulator and misogynist and shit, which, I mean, I think that's kind of a given at this point. He also criticized his biracial identity. We already talked about that a little bit. And he also questioned his authenticity in the rap scene, which is fair. Like I said, he's cosplaying. I mean, seriously, this is not real. It's corny and it's fake. And he lives in this big, dumbass looking fucking mansion.
Let me say I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this.
May FUD, Drake released Family Matters with an epic Ja Rule style clapback. With Family Matters, it really got personal. Seems like from an outsider's perspective, someone who's never really been in the world too heavy. But this is like where I would definitely see Kendrick Lamar getting quite upset and just pulling out all the punches and pulling all the stops and whatever the turn of phrase is. I'm not sure. May 5th, Kendrick Lamar released Meet the Grahams, aka Drake's real last name. Graham. Aubrey Graham is his last name. That is a very interesting name for Drake. That guy. Kendrick accused Drake of using Ozempic, which makes sense because he's an insecure, rich, famous elite guy who lives in a fucking castle. Kendrick also compared Drake to Harvey Weinstein and intensified some personal attacks. The attacks were just swinging. All right, dude. He said that he was weird and creepy in relation to his relationship with Millie Bobby Brown.
Their child should never be compromised, and he keeping his child around him. And we gotta raise our daughters knowing there's predators like him lurking. A rap battle, he should die so all of these women can live with a purpose.
Which I have to say is really weird. She would text him shit like, I miss you, which is very strange, very odd.
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited, yeah.
You and Drake? That's awesome. That's awesome.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great.
She's 14, 15 years old in an interview where she's talking about texting a fucking 30-year-old guy. Very odd. After Kendrick sort of brought up all this shit, really starts building up. A video surfaced from 2010 during a concert where Drake had a girl who was 17 on stage at the time, and it's given heavy R. Kelly moments. Super creepy, super weird. I would say, you know, you can definitely disregard it because the person who's in the video stated that nothing happened and there was nothing to it. Still creepy, still weird, not exactly average behavior, in my honest opinion. I'd say maybe check out that Entourage. Maybe, what are they, sex offenders? The inventors of the sex offender shuffle?
State of Florida has asked us to disclose our sexual crimes to you.
Not good, not good. He kissed a 17-year-old girl. Very, 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 very strange. Then, 24 hours after Meet the Grahams comes out, he releases this one called Not Like Us. I think he released it quickly because he started to realize that some of the information that he was getting about Drake having a fake or extra daughter was not true. So he released another one. Boom. Kendrick released this lyric. Certified lover boy, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 wop. Dot. Fuck them up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor. And the art for the song is Drizzy's Mansion, and it has the sex offender little logos on it, alluding to his group of creeps and weirdos and stuff. Yeah, it's not good looking for him, to be honest. TBH, to be honest. In all honesty, I think it looks bad. That's a bad look. I would be very embarrassed if that was me, honestly. And then finally, Drake responded to that Eat with the Heart Part 6, and it was pretty lame. He Lil Bro'd him the whole time, and it wasn't really a legitimate response. It was just like refuting accusations. Nobody even mentions Millie Bobby Brown, by the way. Nobody even mentions Millie Bobby Brown. This is just stuff that's coming out from Twitter while all this is going on. The first person to mention Millie Bobby Brown between all the people Drake is beefing with and Drake himself is Drake. He says that he goes for Whitney's and not Millie Bobby Brown's because he doesn't look twice at teens. That's kind of really strange. And Millie Bobby Brown has been just kind of like hyper focused upon by the internet for a long time. This is a really good tweet kind of encapsulating my feelings on the whole thing here. Kendrick, Drake's a pedophile. Drake, I never did anything with Millie Bobby Brown. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Why'd you bring that up suddenly? Now people are defending Drake, saying that the age of consent is 16 in Canada, dude. And that, to be honest, is how you know someone lost, all right? When your audience starts defending you by bringing up ages of consent. In Drake's actual response, the first words in the song are him addressing the claim that he's a rat. A lot of people think that he's a rat because he got robbed by 2 men at gunpoint. He allegedly cooperated with the police, and that led to the arrest of a Toronto rapper by the name of Sizzlack. Now, this is a rumor, I guess, but it's also on Genius, so you can just kind of like find that. It's just like written information by an actual real publication, I think. His reasoning saying why he isn't a rat, though, is because a YouTuber named 1090 Jake would have exposed him if he were to have cooperated with law enforcement. He also says that he plotted for an entire week, giving Kendrick or Kendrick's team false information to let him talk about having an 11-year-old daughter, because allegedly Drake has an 11-year-old daughter, according to Kendrick. That was released, and he's on Ozempic and all this fucking nonsense, dude. It's so insane, but it was all fake. He's playing 4D chess, and Kendrick needs to learn how to fact check. You guys are taking turns putting out songs. Every single, how are you supposed to fucking, it's beef, bro. There's like 5 studio albums with fucking songs. Am I supposed to keep up with all this shit? Who's fact checking all this? The chess style prediction of Drizzy continues, because he seems to have predicted that Kendrick would go forward with the pedo accusations, because Drake included this. Speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected instead of being on some disdirect shit. You rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit. Drake is claiming that Kendrick is misdirecting things and projecting his own issues onto Drake. And this stems from Kendrick denying that he was molested in an album from 2022. I don't even know what the fuck's going on now. And Drake's last lyric for his epic comeback is that everything in his shit is facts, and he wants Kendrick to return the favor. This tweet sums it up best. Drake really sat in the studio for 24 hours just to say, if I'm a liar, why aren't my pants on fire? Wow, man. Then last night, May 6th, or this morning, May 7th, I'm not exactly sure when it happened, someone got shot at Drake's house, his castle, and that's fucking not good. And someone simultaneously vandalized a Uvu store in London with graffiti, which truly goes to show you how crazy this is. I think it's going to get really bad, and there's going to be a fever pitch, all right? If we're going to have an inflection point here pretty soon, and it's going to be real nasty, and by the time this video comes out, I'm sure something else will happen, and I'm really sorry about missing it. Oh yeah, little cherry on top, Kendrick Lamar has 4 simultaneously charting songs on the US Spotify top 10. I was watching a Rick Beato video yesterday, and it was released 5 days ago, just before all this shit started. It would be really funny to see Rick Beato go through the Spotify top 10 and have to listen to diss tracks. Drake, he lost. I mean, he absolutely 100% lost, and it's embarrassing, and he's corny as fuck, and it's cringe, and yeah, I never really liked him, to be honest. To me, it always seemed like he was fucking cosplaying, and I'm not even in the world at all, and it just seems like why is this guy here? It's an interesting world we're in right now.